Oh, hey, just doing some hard work over here. All right. So that's what we've got today. We've got some hard work, but we're not gonna bang weights together. All right. But we are gonna jog in place and march. Jog in place or march to start with. All right. So we're getting ourselves warmed up, get ourselves ready for this. If you're gonna do some hard stuff, it's good to make sure your body is primed up for it. All right. So this workout is super fun, super special, because what we've got 3 exercises that we're gonna do, and we're gonna loop through them over and over again, just working at our own pace, our own tempo. All right, so we got a little disclaimer here for you. You know, you are working out, you know, as an adult human at your own risk. All right, make sure if you're not sure about this stuff, make sure you talk to your doctor. If you've got complicated health histories, you know, if something hurts and is not working right, you know, make sure you stop. Get some extra help, you know, do some one-on-ones with the trainer, you know, or just physical therapy or something, you know. But not all workouts are good for all people, but this is good for a lot of people. All right. So, but I want to make sure I say that because, you know, we'll make sure we're wise in how we do things. So we got jumping jacks going here. All right, just getting things warmed up a little bit there. All right. So I'm excited. We got 3 different sets of 3 exercises. All right. Let's do a few tap backs here. All right, so we got push-ups, rows, and split squats in that first set. All right, so you got 9 minutes, and it's just see how many you can get through. So you do 10 to 20 reps on each of them. All right, so if you get to like a I can't do any more spot, that's sweet. If you get the 20 and you still didn't fail, just move on. Just move on at 20, okay? So that'll be our go-to there. Go ahead and kick back, crisscross, squeeze those shoulders back a bit. All right, and then next set will be with a stability ball, doing a crazy hard ab exercise, which is gonna be great. Doing a really strong hamstring curl, which is amazing. And then doing a stability ball wall squat. All right, so those 3, you know, will be a great combination there. You know, so if we can get through about 3 rounds, that'd be pretty good on some of this. All right, stepping to the side here as we warm up. All right, our last set has that biceps, triceps, and burpees there. All right, biceps, triceps, and burpees. All right, so you do like, you know, you're doing 10 to 20 biceps, 10 to 20 triceps, 10 to 20 burpees. All right, for equipment, you need a ball, and then a band or weights. All right, so you do need a ball, but band or weights would work for this workout. All right, little Frankenstein walk. So we're gonna do a 9-minute set, and then a 1-minute rest, 9-minute set, 1-minute rest, 9-minute set, done. All right, that'll be great. So here's something about me. I like to include that because I feel like sometimes you don't get to know people for real, who they are as an actual person. I'm an actual person. I have an actual person life. All right, and I don't just stand here until the next video. All right, all right, little squat hold. You know, as there's me, my wife, my 2 daughters, and I'm looking forward to that season again. All right, so we have like tans, and we got if you can look farther through there's some couple bikes sitting in the back of the truck. You know, we just went for a bike ride. All right, so where we live is not a great place to ride bikes, so we drive to places to ride our bikes, which seems ridiculous sometimes, actually, but that's the way it is. It's a lovely place to be, but you know, just lots of roads to ride on. All right, so something about me. We ride bikes, and we just like to do stuff outside. It's good for the soul. All right, and obviously calorie burn is not bad. All right, so push-ups, rows, and split squats. All right, so with this one, you're gonna get a 10 to 20 split squats on one side, and then 10 to 20 split squats on the other side. All right, so we got 9 minutes on the timer. All right, I'm gonna use a bar for the row here. All right, so underhand grip, I'm gonna be tipping over, I'm squeezing back. You can use the band, I'll show it real quick, just in case for anybody who hasn't seen one of these before. You can loop around the feet, grab the middle, and you can pull back right in there, or you can even take it and just crisscross the handles and pull back there. It's a little bit easier version on that. All right, but I'm gonna use the bar for today. So if you use a band, that's also fun. All right, you ready, Bobby? All right, synchronized watches. Ready, steady, and go. All right, push-ups. push-ups, all right? Now, I'm not gonna try not to talk too much maybe in this, all right? And I may not count actually, but I'm gonna get to a good failure point and then move to the next exercise, all right? Burn out and then move to the next exercise. So if you burn out before me, you can move to row, or you can just move every time I move. But there's a kind of workout that people could work at very different paces. It'd be nice if we can get through about 3 rounds, maybe 4. Chest is out, shoulders away from the ears. All right, good. That was good exhaustion on that. Bring that bar in, chest out, butt out. So if you're in the bent over row, body position is pretty good. So usually I stand all the way up, set my posture up, bend the knees slightly, and then I tip from my hips to tip in that position. Now I'm pulling up. Push the chest out, squeeze back. I like this position. It's challenging to find it. So if you're having trouble, make sure that back is nice and straight. Chest out, butt out. Or do the band row if you're really having trouble. But this is a very practical position. Real life, you will probably bend over to pick up something. All right? Getting better at how we stand in this position is really, really good. All right? Push the chest out, squeeze those shoulders back. If you want to make it a little harder, you don't have to go all the way down. All right. Push the chest out, shoulders away from the ears. All right, that's pretty good there. Now I'm doing a split squat, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. I can hold onto a chair or something like that while I'm doing this. All right, if you need to. But you definitely want to encourage the depth on this. All right, getting some depth in there. Dig that heel in on the front foot, chest out. All right, I'm leaning forward a little bit because I'm trying to get my butt to stretch at the bottom of this position. Butt and hamstring, doing some stretching. If I was crying, it'd be landing on my toes. And I might later. Okay, it's pretty good there. So when you get that good burn, it's about to give out, you can switch. All right. So again, you could be ahead of me right now. Yeah, that's possible. But we're working together. We got 9 minutes. I'm going to put in good work. You put in good work. And I'll give some reminders on posture as I go. Yeah, yeah. Woohoo! I bet that's Mike. Yeah, Brockport Studios. Sorry, you didn't hear that. Bobby said Brockport Studios says, looks good. He's a genius. Not just because he says I look good, but that's probably a good reason for being a genius. All right, so I'm going to go back into the push-up here. All right, head out in front of the hands, dropping in, pushing up. Now as we go, you might not be able to do as many per set. You're going to get a little tired. Shoulders away from the ears, chest is up. Okay. Now, you don't want to do too many ugly looking ones, all right? All right? You want to make sure that they're in good position because you're going to put yourself at risk if they're not. All right, so I'm standing, pulling that up, set my spine up, stick the tailbone out. Now get to rowing. Chest out, butt out. It's like there's a ski jump going down my back, off the tailbone a little bit. All right. Squeeze those shoulders back. Try to do a lot with the pushing the chest out, not as much about the arms. All right. It's very easy for this to become mostly an arm thing. We want the upper back to do it, so push your chest out, almost like you're trying to touch your shoulder blades together behind you, but don't squeeze them up by your ears. That's good. Whew. All right. Now, if split squats are really easy for you, you could add a weight in here. All right. Who says this? D Gates 112. D Gates. I don't know who that. Who's that? Need some friends to join me? All right, Bobby, come on. No, just kidding. You stay there. Make sure everything works right. That is the goal, though. Friends to join. I may try to get a couple people to come on here with me, and then I can pick on them while they exercise. It'll be great. Other leg. Dropping in here. Dropping here, squeezing up. Dropping here, squeezing up. You know, if not everybody can make this live, you can still catch some of these unrecorded. You know, with these comments, a couple of comments coming in already. Do comment, please. You know, like, subscribe, all those things. I think that's how the internet works. All right? I'll get more friends if you guys do things like that. All right, push-ups. Now, I've seen a lot of videos online with these influencer types doing their influencer thing. A lot of them bother me because one, they're half naked. Like that's the only reason we should watch them. All right. The other is they make it look so easy. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make it look hard. Oh. Because that's real. That's real. All right. Chest out, butt out. Tipping over. Squeezing back. Shoulders rolling back. Back is straight, chest is out. Trying to keep his posture in alignment no matter what the exercise is. Whichever one you happen to be on right now. Oh, we're getting close here. There's about a minute left here. I might see if I can just split it between both legs here. Oh, you're right. You're right. Push that front heel. Oh, oh, you see, but that hurts more. Somebody just told me to push my front heel more. Oh, whew. Whew. All right. Drop it in here. Finish the work. Dig that heel in. I hope not too many people are just eating a snack while they watch. Dig that heel in. 10 seconds. All right. Take a little pause. And then we're going to do our next set. Next set is all with stability ball. I'm going to push this away. Go away, go away. All right. Let's see if I can show them real quick. Then we're basically going to jump into them. All right, so most people are going to need the on the knees version of this one because it's pretty hard. All right, so you're on the knees, hips forward, and you're rolling the ball out and back. All right, you can do it from toes as well. This one you go, oh, Jeremy said 10 to 20. Maybe I only do 10. Yeah, maybe. All right, and then we're on the back here. We're gonna lift the hips up. You're gonna try to lift the hips up as you roll the ball in. All right, big squeeze in those hamstrings. Keep those toes pulled back towards you. There's the hamstring curl again. If that's a hard one for you, Maybe it's just 10. All right. Then we have stability ball wall squat. Ball is on the wall. Start with your butt on the ball. All right, you're sinking down and then coming up. All right, sinking down in here. Weights on the heels pretty good. And then you're squeezing up. All right. So that is our 3. Whenever I let the ball drop like that, it always feels like maybe I pooped or something, right? Like, boop, boop. There it goes. All right, so abs, hammy, and wall squat. All right, ready? Here we go. All right, so I'll do from my toes, I suppose. Abs in tight. Elbows are underneath the shoulders. Lower abdominals pulling in quite a bit. Roll out a little bit and come back in. Whew. The farther you roll out, the harder it is. All right, so maybe just start with a small move. Maybe you can do it from your knees there too. Okay. Whew. That was lovely. All right, laying down here. Legs are going up and going hamstring curl. All right. Yeah, between 10 and 20 on the other one. I think it was 15 actually. All right. Driving those hips up. Now, you're going to notice when you try to do this, your hips may not be able to come up quite as well. Get them up as much as you can. All right, keep the toes pulled back towards you. If you point your toes too much here, you're going to get a calf cramp or maybe a hamstring cramp. They don't feel good. If you do get a cramp, straighten it out and try to stretch it. That's the fastest way to get rid of it. Whew. All right, push those heels down, hips up, like you're trying to pop the ball with your heels there. Oh, oh yeah. All right, that was good. Whew. I don't know how many that was. It was between 10 and 20. Whew. All right. Dropping in here. We're a little narrower. Now, hopefully there's a little bit more thigh related right here. Don't lean back too much on the ball. All right, push the butt into it, but lean your body forward a little bit. Now, as I'm doing this, knees are staying out, weight staying on the heels. Digging in, quads are starting to get pretty warm here. If you can do them all without straightening your legs all the way, when you straighten all the way, it's kind of a rest break. If you stay in here, boy, it cooks. Let's do 5 more, I guess. I think it's around 20. All right, the ab roll out again. All right, I'll show you this set from the knees, just so you're clear on how that works. Notice when I'm from the knees here, my hips are in front of my knees. I'm not up here doing it. This is hardly any ab at all. When I load my hips in, that's when it becomes an ab exercise. All right, and you'll be able to tell. Abs pulled in. If your shoulders don't take to this, you can just do a stability ball crunch. If you don't know what that is, I'll just watch another video. I think we've done a couple times that one. Now, one thing I'm feeling right now, my back wants to start arching. So my tailbone wants to stick up, my back's starting to arch more. I need to try to tuck that under as I finish this. Otherwise, my lower back's gonna take too much there, right? So I can feel that happening. So if you feel it happening, you watch out for it, all right? It's not the right position we wanna be in. All right. Try to lift the hips first, on this hamstring curl. Come down slowly if you really want to burn. You notice my hips don't go all the way back to the ground. I'm gonna do 5 more to make this full 20 here. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna regret that tomorrow. Not, because my legs will be fabulously sore. All right, drop it in. All right, try to use your butt a little bit here, but it's definitely a bit more of a quad dominant exercise. The more strength we build in the thighs, the better it is for our knees, all right? The stronger these quad muscles are, it protects the knees better. Getting our reps in here. All right, we're about 2/3 through right now. Means we should be able to get through 3 rounds, maybe a little bit more. And maybe you're ahead of me. If you fail out sooner, you can switch before I switch. I'd love a good burn on that one. Maybe I'll try another angle for this one. It'd be fun. Let's rock. All right. I like the feet apart a little bit on this. Because you are basically on one point when you're on the ball here. Switch a little bit. Lower abs pulling in. Watch out for that desire of the back to arch. What? Look at the. What you got right here? You right there? Yeah. Is it burning? Mine's burning. Lower abs. Couple more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hammies. Let's do it. All right, here we go. One of the biggest keys in exercise is that you're getting close to that failure point. In the exercise, that stimulates more muscle growth, muscle building, all right? If you're getting just tired, it's not as good as really getting to just about completely burned out in that muscle. Oh boy. Oh, that burned out. As you can see, sometimes the sets go faster because you can't do it for as long. But get right to the next exercise. Part of the benefit is this huffing and puffing we're getting too. Try to keep the heels down a little bit. Make sure your heels aren't coming off the ground as you're doing it. Oh, this is gnarly. We only got about 20 seconds left, so I'm gonna try to camp out on this one and just scorch my quads for the finish here. Almost there. All right. Dropped my little blue poop there again. All right. 3rd set. All right. All right, I got it set up for bands on this one. This one's gonna be a bit more huffing and puffing, all right? So I got 2 different bands. I got a green band I'm gonna use for the biceps, and I got a lighter band, this blue handle band for the triceps. All right, so triceps is a trickier one. I'll show you it real quick. Chest out, butt out like that, bent over row position, elbows up high, pressing back behind here. All right, and then I got burpees. All right, 10 to 20 times on biceps, triceps, and then burpees. All right, I think we should just start, right? All right, here we go. Let's make it happen. All right, so I'll step into the band. If I go 2 feet in, it's a little bit harder. Chest is out, shoulders down. I just stand straight ahead, maybe. You can see the posture better, maybe. Now, make sure your elbows don't go behind you as you're doing this. All right, that is not ideal. The band comes out in front of you more on the way up. All right, so not back here, pulling up, out in front here, pulling up right into there. So it comes forward a bit and then comes back to you. All right, 10 to 20 reps. Okay, that's probably good. Now you can tell like if the posture's gonna get bad, my shoulders are gonna start popping up, some bad things are gonna happen. Don't keep doing it, don't keep doing it. All right, so I'm gonna step in here. You can step in one-footed to make it a little bit easier here too. All right, I'm gonna step in 2 feet just because, whatever. Elbows up high, pressing back. Now this one's a tricky position here. So we gotta push that chest out, get the back nice and flat here. All right, so you see this angle right there? So my shoulders are pulled back, I'm not rounded over, I'm squeezing back here. Pressing back, squeeze at that full straight as you can get it at least. And back in. It's that moment that does the most work. Shoulders away from the ears, chest is out, and that squeeze. And when the quality goes down on that squeeze, it's probably time to switch. All right, burpees, you can do it on an elevated surface or the ground here. All right. I'm gonna do like a modified burpee. Most of the time when we do burpees in class, it's a little more of a squat thrust. We don't do the full on push up and jump a lot because a lot of our clients have rougher joints there. We want to take care of them a little bit. All right. This is heart rate time. You can do it stepping as well. Step forward, step back. Right there, step back, forward, and up. Looks like a squat a little bit. 10 to 20. And I'm talking, so I don't know where I'm at. That's 2. Bobby said I've done 2 already. Let's do 3 more. Get nice, even 5. All right. Out of breath. Going for biceps again. All right. Chest is out. All right, big thing to watch out on biceps, make sure your shoulders don't pop up. Really tough on that bicep tendon, so even when you're really tired, don't do that. Better just to stop, switch exercises, because it means basically you failed at doing it right. All right, you already failed. All right, I could do more. Well, you can't do it more right, so be done. How many can we do with good posture is a much better question than how much can we do. Keep that chest out, shoulders away from the ears. Oh boy. Whew. Do a better job of counting until I start talking again. Whew. I'll make it 15. All right. Biceps. Now, time for one more set, maybe. We got this. Oh, that was good. My biceps will do something with that. Whew. Triceps, chest out, butt out. Oh, God. That was 20, but I don't know, the last one was pretty sketchy. All right, 2 minutes left. Try to get through a whole other round with just 10 of each. All right. 10 of the biceps. This is hard work. Whose idea was this? All right. Minute. Chest out and butt out. Make it real dramatic here. I'm gonna step on a little more band to make it harder. 26 seconds, 10 burpees, let's see. Hold on. You breathe. I might as well just lay down. I'll do my breathing there. Let's get into that stretch. Let's not waste time. We're busy people. You're not busy people, Bobby? All right, pull that knee in towards you. Oh. Oh. Press that heel away. Pull that knee in towards you. Oh. Oh, nice stretch. Catch our breath a little bit while we stretch out. Switch sides. Press that bottom heel away from you. So extend that bottom leg. Even flex your butt cheek on that side a little bit as you pull the other knee towards you. Keep a little space under your lower back while doing this stretch. And maybe pull the knee towards the opposite shoulder. All right? So we're hitting our stretches here. We got the knee pull in, ankle to the knee, tricep, hamstring, hip, quad, calf, and chest. All right, so they're all right there, but you just follow along, I'll do them. All right, cross the ankle over the knee, reach through, grab that bottom leg, pull it towards you. All right, so that was some good hard work right there. That was difficult. I have a little thought for the day for you while we do this stretch and then the other side. All right, so this, again, a lot of my thoughts of the day, these come from the Bible here. All right, switch sides. All right, it says in Proverbs 18:19, it says, one who is slack in his work is brother to one who destroys. You go, oh, that sounds interesting. Let's think about this. One who is slack in their work is brother to one who destroys. All right? So, like again, a lot of practical wisdom in that. All right, let's go ahead and stand up. Get that tricep. So, if you're slack in your work, you might actually make something that falls apart, right? Pat yourself on the back. You might be building something that really isn't that worthwhile anyway. It might need to get destroyed. All right? So almost being slack in your work is like almost as if you're destroying something. On the other side, when it comes to our body, our physical health, that's true. You slack in what you do in these strength exercises, you stop doing the workout, you stop doing the cardio, it actually does start to destroy your body. It actually does break down. Not doing work and not doing that work as well as you can, your body goes, oh, I guess I don't need to be this strong. I don't need to have this level of fitness. All right, hamstring stretch, chest out, butt out, tipping over there. So making sure that, maybe we are more like the diligent. And it's, most of us can do it one day, but it's showing up every day is where I feel a lot of that diligent comes from. It's a consistent work ethic. And so, we would want it for our kids, all right? And so one thing you got to ask yourself is, am I behaving and performing at the level I would hold my kids to, all right? Because sometimes, nothing burns a kid more than you're holding them to a standard that you don't even hit, all right? You're saying, pick up after yourself, maybe you're not. You're saying this, but it's just bugging you. Maybe it's a character trait that you don't like about yourself. All right? All right? Press that heel back behind you, push the hip forward, stretching out the hip flexor here. And so maybe you want somebody else to be more diligent than you because you are frustrated with your lack of diligence. But honestly, that's not the way to get somebody else to be diligent, is to push them to do it. The best way to do it is to show it yourself. All right? So as you set about exercising, working on nutrition, you don't want slack to be the word that explains how you're doing it. You'd rather diligent be the word that explains how you're doing it. I'm doing this in a diligent way. I'm showing up regularly. I'm working hard. I'm putting my best in. When I'm in the room has more energy in it. All right, quad stretch. Point that knee down, push the hip forward. All right, so the room has more energy in it. All right, and I can see this in our workouts. So with some of the clients that we work with, push the hips forward while you're doing this one. All it takes is one person willing to go real hard, and it raises the whole room. All right, switch sides. And so sometimes I'll work out with one of our classes, and there's a lot of pressure on me to be the diligent one, all right, to show. And so even if I have a higher ability level, I'm going to use all of it. I'm going to use all of my ability in that workout. And usually when I do that, I can tell the people around me rise up to that same effort level. They may not be able to rise up to that same intensity level. All right, let's get that calf stretch. Press that heel back behind you. They may not be able to move the same weight or to move the same speed, but they can hit that same intensity level. And so you want to be the kind of person who brings the room into a better place. When you walk in a room, does it become a more positive room? When you're working, does the work get done, faster and harder because you're working it? All right? And these are thoughts and things about ourselves that we can change. Our habits are votes for the person we want to become. All right, so if you want to become more diligent, less slack, just start being diligent with something small. Something small, and then slowly building it from there. All right, hand up on the wall about head height, shoulder down, chest out, turn away. All right. Slack. Oh, no. Brother to one who destroys. Yeah. Actually, diligence is not even in this one, but it's in another verse. All right. Other side. Here's our moment. You and me, we made it. We did it. We weren't slack. That's the brother of one who destroys. You don't want to do that. You get slack in your marriage, guess what happens, right? We kind of know where that goes, right? Not worth it. Slack in your kids, you might destroy your kids. Not worth it. If it's something important, something worthwhile, don't be slack with it. But also don't put so much pressure on yourself that you cave in. That's why it really helps having a group like this. I'm not as diligent unless I'm around others. All right, when I'm around others, that's why churches a lot of times do small groups. That's why, like in our program, we do a group of people, because you will work harder, you will work better, and you will finish the workout. Versus when you start the workout at home, and maybe you just kind of fade away. All right, so if you're watching these and doing these out live, don't quit on me. Just because you got tired in the middle. All right, let's stick through it. Let's pretend like we're right in front of each other while we do this. All right, let me finish off with a prayer. God, help us to not be one who destroys. That's not our kinship. That's not our brother. Help us not to be too slack in things that are important. You gave us this body. Help us to take care of it. You put us in this place and time. Help us to do the work you've given us well. Whatever that work is, however humble that work may be, help us not to be slack in it. Help us to not be slack in how we engage with our kids, how we engage with our spouse, how we engage with the people we care about around us. Help us to be proactive. One quote is, people say that, show me your checkbook and your calendar and I'll tell you what's important to you. Help us to show it with our time, talent, and treasure. Show us that you are important. And also these very valuable things, important things like the people, that you put in our lives, that we show that they are important too. In the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. Have fun. Be safe. God bless.